Welcome to Foot in Mouth, the podcast about all things football. I got my boy Calley in the building. How you doing, bro?
Yo, bro, I'm good. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. So, I'm gonna get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
How you feeling so far about Spurs season?
It's a little bit... It's underwhelming, to be honest. It's very underwhelming. Not for the ambition that we had coming into this season. I think to keep the answer very short, because I'm quite sure there's a lot of conversations that we're going to have. It's been underwhelming.
But like, do you think that's down to recruitment more or Nuno or?
Listen, a lot has happened in the season since we let go of Mourinho. I think that also is a thing that plays in everyone's heads. I think including the players as well, because we let go of him before the cup final that he got us to.
I mean, even I was like, shit, this is Spurs' moment.
Exactly.
Mourinho doesn't lose finals.
Mourinho does not lose finals, and for some reason, Lord knows, Enik and Daniel Levy. You know, you hate to love him, but I don't know, okay? But we let go of him, and I think that still plays in the heads of the players and the supporters a lot, because, you know, he's doing well in Roma now, and it's something that whenever we see it, we're like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But we are kind of like in a new place right now.
Yeah.
Because for the first time ever, we have a sporting director. Fabio Patrici, I'm probably messing up the
Like
name.
all the clubs are going in that direction.
Yeah.
That's the new norm.
That's the new norm now, and this is our first time. We took the guy, we recruited him from Juventus. He's the one who motivated for Nuno.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who motivated for Nuno. He's the one who's brought in the new recruits like Romero. He's been very instrumental in bringing in the new recruits, which were good signings. It's just, I think we're impatient. And Tottenham is just that kind of football club that's got supporters who are very quick to panic.
Yeah.
But look, it's been underwhelming because we were at the top of the league in the first 3 games, and then we fell. Now we 8th.
Yeah, it was like a full 180.
Yeah, it was like very weird, right? But now we're coming back to it. Our response against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Was very impressive to come back.
Exactly.
Yeah, to come back from
And Villa they're not a bad team. Bro.
No,
they
especially
also
this season.
They invested heavily this season.
Yeah. I don't know who they obliterated a couple of games ago, but they
Once
got
that team starts clicking.
yeah, they got someone out the way, and obviously Danny Ings loves to score against Tottenham, and we kept him out of the way. So yeah, like going into the international break with a win, only like a couple of points away from 3rd place, I think is something positive, you know.
Yeah, but like you say, it's just the way things are playing out right now. Like you said, first 3 games, 3 wins. You conceded none, or
None.
and then the next 3 games, it's.
But it was 1-0 wins.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right.
But I think didn't you had a big game score like in the opening game of the season or something?
No, we only had we only had a big game score because we played against Man City. We scored 1-0.
Yeah.
And then we beat Wolves 1-0. I don't know who the third match was, but we beat 1-0 as well. And the first big score that we kind of got recently was against some club in I don't know where in Europe.
Was it
the
Paquiros Ferreira or something.
Oh yeah, they were the Ferreira Roches. They were busy going.
3-0 the Spurs, isn't it?
Yeah. 3-0 Spurs. I don't even know those football teams, but I guess we're doing well over there.
Can I ask, are you expecting that Spurs win that cup?
They have to.
No?
I mean, there's no, like, what can you say?
Fair.
What can you say?
But that's the thing. Like, I know that, you know, we can say now the caliber of the competition is like, it's nah. You know, you could do without it.
For sure.
But for Spurs, as a club that you kind of feel as a club that really needs to start bringing in trophies now.
Right.
This is an opportunity.
More than ever.
Nah.
Now more than ever. Like, even Eric Dyer said it. And I wasn't, you don't usually expect that kind of rhetoric from footballers because they're trained to like, scouts, you say this.
Yeah.
I take it again.
There's do's and don'ts.
He came out and literally said like, this league, this cup right here, this tournament, we have to win it. Tottenham have to win this tournament. It's no question about it. And I think if we get out for any reason, it's over for Nuno.
It's Nuno's head, bruh.
Yeah,
Nuno's
it's over
head.
for Nuno.
And you know, I really like Nuno at Wolves.
Yeah.
While he was at Wolves, even when they struggled last season, they definitely didn't light it up like they did the season before. But I like Nuno. But when you guys were on the hunt for a manager, was he on any of your shortlists? In all honesty, like, was this someone that when you were going through the names, you were like, I'd take Nuno, or was that just as much of a surprise?
No, he didn't come into the picture until we confirmed the appointment of Fabio. I mean, before Fabio came, like, no one, like, even bat an eyelash towards Nuno, right? Even though Spurs were saying that they were looking for a manager who can sort of like come in and maybe do what Mauricio Pochettino did when he came in to rebuild potential and that kind of thing. Everyone wanted Antonio Conte. Everyone wanted Antonio.
I mean, even
Conte.
Arsenal fans, even Man United fans now
Right,
are
right,
like,
right.
"Yeah, get rid of Ali, bring in Conte.
Bring in Conte. And because Levy is such a cheapskate, you know, the Conte deal didn't happen, and obviously Fabio came in with Nuno, and Nuno's good because he's like he develops players.
Yeah, he's a dope coach.
Yeah. Neves is Nuno's product. I mean,
Yeah, bruh.
Adama Traore is Nuno's product, and Moutinho
Look, I think
as
Adama
well.
is struggling without Nuno.
Exactly.
He's struggling without
Exactly.
Nuno.
They
bro.
don't know where to play him now. They don't know how to use him as a
It's
dynamic
like a gentle
player.
giant now, bro. Like,
Have you seen his shot attempts, bro? That dude needs to play rugby. Like,
yeah,
the way like
conversions, boy.
dude, what the hell? Like the way he shoots is crazy. But we tried to sign him as well, and look, he's Nuno's favorite.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad if he came to Tottenham.
or Neves, bro. Although,
Neves
like,
as well.
like Neves in your midfield, would you take anybody out or?
Yeah, there's a lot to take. out.
That's the thing. I mean,
Giovanni Lo Celso out. Who else?
Ndombele.
Ndombele out.
Nah.
He's not fit.
Yeah.
He's not fit. He's not cut out for the Premier League. He's not fit enough, you know. And he's trying right now. And Nuno, I think, is putting him in the field to play because he's one of our most expensive signing, if not the most.
Yeah, so you have that pressure.
So you kind of have to play him to get
I
the
wouldn't be
most out.
surprised if Levy them are upstairs like, bro, you saw what we spent on this, bruh. Get
I'm
the
quite
best out
sure.
of him.
I'm quite sure.
Like, yo.
And he's a talent.
Performance-wise, like, also, it's like, it just hasn't, it's not working out the way that on paper people were hoping it would, because he was a Mourinho signing, isn't
Yeah, he wasn't a Mourinho signing. He was signed when Mourinho was there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. Wait, let me ask you though. What are your thoughts on Arsenal's season thus far?
I'm honestly, I'm confident. I'm not saying we're challenging for the league,
Okay.
but I think we are definitely going to do better than we have in the last 2 seasons.
Okay.
I think without a doubt, the fact that we've got no European football, as shit as it is, it's an opportunity for us to just climb a bit in the league.
Right.
Which I think is priority, bruh.
Right.
Full on. Also, look, there's no excuses for us to not go for broke in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup.
Right.
So
And you guys are good in the FA Cup.
that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's not ridiculous to say, oh, we could probably go for the FA, like win a FA Cup final, because we did it 2 seasons ago and no one expected it. Especially when we had the run of Chelsea and Man City Man City first and then Chelsea in the final. You thought either City or Chelsea was going to beat Arsenal, but it worked out.
Right.
So I think it's realistic enough to think that we could do another surprise like that. I think the squad has the potential. The opening 3 games are what completely made everybody mull.
Right.
And I think that it was a bit harsh because on paper, I stand by it. On paper, if that Chelsea game and that Man City game, if they were separated later on in the season, as an Arsenal fan, I could have looked through the calendar and been like, look, probably going to be a loss there, maybe a draw, and probably going to be a loss there, maybe a draw. Okay, but look, like Chelsea, obviously I have to go in there. Like, we're gonna fucking win. But on paper, I wouldn't have been like destroyed had we lost them when they were like 3 games apart or some shit like, because they were back to back. It made our season look so much worse than it actually could be.
Yeah.
It's just that it was too early. That's the European champions and the Premier League champions. We played both. The Brentford one, that was a fuck up.
Right.
But now everyone's starting to see Brentford came to play.
Yeah,
They're not this dopey
it.
team from the championship.
Yeah.
Like, they've got it in them to
They're
have an
about it
exciting
for
season.
sure, yeah.
So I've honestly, the first 3 games were a write-off to me.
Okay.
They've been a complete write-off to me. And after the international break, I'm happy with what I've seen. That North London derby was naturally a massive
that
pick-me-up.
game, bro, like
A massive pick-me-up. More so for the players. You were saying before we started filming the photo that they took.
oh my god. We'll get to that, but I just want to talk about like Dele Alli, bro. Like that game just showed how much Dele Alli's mental health has sort of like deteriorated. Maybe it's on a pick me up now, but mentally, I don't think that he's quite there. You know what I mean? It's same with Ndombele as well, because it was Dele Alli who was out of position. He got subbed at a halftime. I can't remember who else was subbed at halftime, but when Nuno at the end of the game, he basically said it like, the players know who they are, and they played out of position. They did not go into the game with the game plan, and that's why we lost 3 goals. In the first half. It's crazy. It's nuts, bro. And Smith Rowe is a talent.
Bro.
Smith Rowe is a
player,
talent, bro. Smith Rowe is a talent. And of course the picture, the notorious changing.
The dressing room.
Like, dog, what is going on? That was a little bit too much. You know, like players after I saw it on All or Nothing. The Tottenham season on Amazon Prime. And, you know, after the game, they go into the changing room and everyone, like, you know, goes crazy and shit. But
you're
like,
obviously happy you won.
Right. But like, I saw dudes in suits. Like, where did they drag those dudes from? Like, is that social media? Like, that's everyone, like, coming in. That's like a cup final. The only thing missing there was, like, a trophy and some champagne.
Fuck it. And maybe a surprise appearance from Wenger just to congratulate the boys.
Right.
Because I also thought that was over the top.
That was a
but
bit much.
I think this is part of Arteta's plan. Like, he has always been very upfront about wanting to really have a sense of togetherness with the team. You know what I mean?
Right.
He really wants to make these guys feel like a family, and you know, we play together, we win together, we lose together. And I think that he just took that moment as a, you know what? We know how much this means to the fans. Let's show them how much it means to us. Like, I think it was over the top, but I think that picture was more of a team building thing. And much like the first 3 games of our season, I'm writing it off. It's gone. It's gone from memory, bruh. Like,
yo, you explained that picture for 2 minutes, brother.
Because I think as I was explaining it, I was kind of convincing myself more. You know,
right.
Like, nah, don't worry, Logan.
Like,
don't worry.
Note to
There was reason behind the madness. Fuck, bruh.
Actually, Logan, I think you sound more hopeful than confident, to be honest.
I am. I genuinely am. Because even I thought, what the fuck is this picture doing? I got a notification. Arsenal posted a photo, and I'm like, like, you know, obviously it's North London. I was like, what is it? Is it another picture of Aubameyang doing the Henry? And I saw the picture, and I was like, oh, is this a throwback Thursday? And I'm like, nah, that's today's Mensa. Like, straight after today's game. They looked happier than when we won the FA Cup, bruh. Like,
hey, bruh, look.
It's a huge win.
It means so much to Arsenal to beat Tottenham, but it's kind of sad that you guys are still below us.
It's really sad, bruh. Yeah. It's really sad. Look, that's what I said. That game against Brighton for us was... It's classic Arsenal.
Right.
It's classic Arsenal in that you start stringing together a run of games. You start seeing these performances start coming out, and then they just drop the ball at a moment where you're like, this is the game? This is the one.
Who's the weakest link at Arsenal? Who's the weakest link right now at Arsenal? I'll tell you who the weakest link at Spurs is.
The weakest link in our starting 11.
Right.
I would say in Arteta's ideal 11, I think the weakest link. Look, it's tricky because my instinct is saying say Xhaka. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what instinct tells me.
Yeah.
That's what instinct tells me to say. But I honestly don't think that he's the biggest problem. I think right now a bigger problem would be Pepe, because last season he did better, but he's still not reaching the heights that we know he can fucking reach. You know what I mean? This season he's shown even less. Like, in the starts that he's had, he hasn't looked like he's any closer to really.
Does it come from the French league?
Yes.
Very interesting, because Nobela comes from the French league.
He came from the French league, but he came from Lille. He came from Lille. But the thing is, at Lille, I also think I feel hard for him because, like, the Lille coach let him express himself a lot more on the pitch. I think Arteta has a very strict style. He has a which is weird because our style of play is non-existent. But I think one thing that's safe to say is that Arteta isn't the most open to having players just go out and play their natural game. Because there's been so much talk throughout the season of pundits and journalists who are in that dugout area, but he's saying this man does not stop giving orders from the sideline while the game's on. That's like, at what point do you trust your players enough to
to just sit
go
back.
for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's also playing a part in Pepe's underachieving. But I also think, look, he needs to get more game time. But at the same time, he's getting left behind because when he gets his opportunities, he doesn't do enough. And we ain't the fuck about to take Saka off or Smith Rowe anymore. And now we got Odegaard there, who's starting to come to the party
Killing
again.
it right now.
So Pepe, I worry for the man. I also think he's still good enough and young enough to turn it around. But look, I count him in our starting 11 because that's our record signing. You don't not count your record signing as a player in your starting 11.
Exactly.
He should be there. He should be one of the first names on the team sheet. It should be a Pepe, and then now Saka.
Right.
But like I think that in its sense is a weak link for us, and then like someone like maybe Ben White, because I think Ben White, he's had some good performances, but I just worry about he's gonna have to adapt still.
Right.
He's not a finished product yet. So until he gets to that stage.
Which league did you guys sign him from?
He played for Brighton.
Oh, okay, for Brighton. Okay.
We got him we overpaid for him.
Graham Potter, right?
Yeah.
He's doing well,
Even
that guy.
Potter, I like Potter as a coach, man.
We
That's why I
wanted
said,
him.
Like the
Do you know what he
Nuno's
said? We wanted him. Do you know what he said? I don't want to mess up my CV. What's wrong with you? What's that about?
DK?
Do you know that Drewski video? What do you mean by that? Yeah, that was great.
Maybe I honestly think also that look, that puts him in a really good place with the Brighton board.
Yeah.
Just saying something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, let's be honest. If he had a decent season with Brighton last year, I think Brighton overachieved last season. Can you see where they finished in the log last season, Sponsi?
Well, they're currently 6th now.
No, they're having a good season
Let's see where they
so
are
far.
now.
So
They're
far.
definitely having
So
a good
far.
season
So
now.
far.
But like when he turned down Spurs, that was before the season started. Like that's I'm just trying to think if they had a good enough. Like I could understand someone like Brendan Rodgers turning down Spurs because of what he's got going with Leicester.
With Leicester,
You know what I mean? That project is looking more and more promising. I know they missed Champions League last season, but still, Leicester's Leicester.
Right.
But Graham Potter, like by his standards,
Yeah, that just didn't make sense. Like what he said just didn't make sense.
Just been for brownie points with
Yeah,
the board,
yeah.
And also, I think that this man must have thought a little bit, maybe the job's a bit too big for me, but you're not going to say that on camera.
Brighton finished 16th last season.
Oh,
Okay.
come on, get
Nah.
out of town.
See, you don't turn down Spurs.
Come on.
But
bro.
like even Mourinho couldn't win a trophy at Spurs.
No, I
We'll
know.
never know,
Brighton's never
because
gonna. You can't say he's taking a
We'll
Brighton
never
beat
know.
trophies.
We'll never know because they literally sacked him.
They kicked him out right
Before the
and
final.
He was literally
But
just reached the finish line.
what was the excuse to the press? It was because of the whole Super League, not the Super
Yes.
League.
He was the first manager to come out and say this is bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so then the club
and then-
used that as
but it
a
was so
scapegoat
under
to.
fucking wraps, bruh.
Yeah,
Like the whole
yeah.
thing just felt the way it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was an ugly divorce.
Because even that, like, there were so many. Me as an Arsenal fan, I gave Mourinho so many props because I was like, "Nice, shout out, bro! Like, you know, your name is your name. You have a high-profile job, and you're not afraid to stand up to these owners." Because I think a lot of these owners, they just employ yes men. Like, even Arteta, I love Arteta, but I think Arteta is much more of a yes man than he may let off. You know what I mean? Like, I think he will say things in front of the camera to keep the owners happy, and he'll say things in front of the camera so that he'll protect the players' emotions a little bit. Mourinho is very blunt.
Nah, he says what he wants.
He's very blunt.
He says what he
and
wants.
I think he's earned the right to
Tongue
be
in
that
cheek.
blunt. So for him to kind of get just kicked out the door, that was really disrespectful. The way that man got sacked.
Fam, that was Mourinho.
But that's classic Daniel Levy though, eh?
Classic Daniel Levy, bro. What he did to Mauricio Pochettino,
Even that, eh?
it's unforgivable.
But I think he gets away with it because at the time,
He's currently doing it to Kane, holding Kane hostage just like that.
Yeah, well, the Kane situation.
I
You
was
see,
gonna
that's
ask you
why I
about
said.
that.
That's why I said earlier that you love to hate him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
A gentleman's agreement. I mean, what is that?
but everybody
ask Charlie,
They
ask
were
Kane's
also
brother.
telling Kane, look, you made your bed. When talk of this happened, there were already people online going, bruh, don't trust.
Okay, wait. From like a Liverpool's perspective, we had a similar agreement with Suarez. We didn't do well enough, and he left. So like we had that gentleman agreement.
Yeah.
So it can
But
work.
Levy's got a history.
Yeah.
My
that's why I
thing
say
is
it's
this,
classic
right?
Daniel
My
Levy.
thing is this. Harry Kane, his brother's his agent and manager. Charlie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Charlie.
yeah.
Yeah, that's who handles his business. He's the one who fronted the 3-year deal with the 3-year extension with Tottenham. We still have Kane for 2 years. Manchester City is the culprit in this whole thing because Manchester City would not pay 160 million pounds.
Look, if they made that
a lot of
money,
people
if
aren't
they
He
seeing
made
it
still
that
has
way,
he still has 2 years in his contract.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
There's already a price for Harry Kane, and then there's that 2 years to release him from his
There's no
contract.
pressure on Spurs.
So,
They didn't
so
wanna
what you're
pay-
saying,
they
Daniel's not holding him hostage. Spurs, City just didn't want to pay the money.
City just didn't want to fork out the money. And
Look,
that-
they had
that's
spent
the thing.
100 mil for Grealish, and at the same time, I can't fault Levy on doing bad business. That's good. You protect your
That's
assets.
good business.
That Harry Kane is your biggest asset.
Team is
You keep
suffering
that
though, dude.
motherfucker.
No,
if
you
you don't
staying,
get
brother.
an offer, look, he could easily have found a new striker for 100 mil. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he wanted that 160 because he was like, if we sell Kane, we signing a Kane replacement. And in this market, bruh,
There is no
100
Kane
mil will
replacement.
get you a good striker, but 160 mil get you that
Will
striker
get
to
you-
take you to the next level.
Exactly.
And if you're gonna leave, I mean, Kane was top goal scorer, top assister last season. How the fuck do you replace that?
Why would you do that? That's bad business.
Yeah, but like he's not going to perform now.
Look, and that's what I wanted to ask.
Well, the thing is, he does have obligations, and I'm quite sure that his contract there are sort of like bonuses and incentives for like goal scored and assists and stuff like that. But also, let's not forget, Harry Kane is a professional.
I was gonna say now he's a professional.
He's a professional, and I think from what I heard or what I read is that so they're kind of like restructuring his contract now. He's agreed to stay. And they're restructuring his contract to state that if Spurs don't get into the Champions League or if we don't perform well, then he'll be released. I think that's the new.
if it's on
agreement
paper,
now.
yeah, then that's
Yeah. I mean, but Charlie Kane and Man City are the culprits in this. Daniel Levy was not obliged to fall under pressure at all, and that's
For
why you
sure,
love to
for
hate
sure.
him. You know what I mean?
Especially
Like,
with 2 years left in the contract.
no
bro.
ways, yeah. And he's a professional. Harry Kane. Usually, people always like judge him. Every season, there's a new mounted pressure against
Yeah.
him, and he's notorious for not scoring or having a drought in August. When November comes, that's when he's gonna start knocking
So you're
him
not
back.
worried. I was gonna ask, like, are you worried at all about his lack of? I mean, he's
Absolutely not.
banged in quite a few in the Conference League. Like,
He's got a hat trick. He got his hat trick like last week. Yeah. No,
So I said, look, the goals are there, but I mean, I suppose I haven't watched like all of Spurs this season, but that North London derby, that was not Harry Kane.
yeah, he was not into it.
That was not Harry Kane, bro.
And that's the problem with Tottenham right now because we don't. Ndombele is who we want to have.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
With his skill set, with his ability to push forward and create chances and complete passes, but we don't have that. And now Harry Kane has had to adjust his game to not only be the target man, but then to be the creator. So now he plays a lot more deep, and his passes are just like
so it's
his passes are immaculate. Like
top
his
assist, bro.
lobs, it's immaculate. So now he's like a new dynamic kind of player, and he'll always score 10 plus goals. That's a guarantee with Harry Kane.
he's a double digits to 15 plus.
And
bro.
now
Like,
Ronaldo's in the league, so I'm quite sure that he's looking at Ronaldo's tally right now, and he's like,
setting a benchmark for
I am
himself,
going
you
to
know.
fuck you up.
He's gonna push for the golden boot again.
I'm quite sure every season he does that.
Well, like you said, you've noticed that he does normally have a lull. in
Yeah.
this phase
He
of the
does. He
season,
does
so-
have a lull in the first couple of months. I mean, look, Harry Kane stayed the longest in the Euros, and as soon as he got back, he only rested for a couple of weeks before he was called back. And in those couple of weeks, there was this whole hoopla that forced him to come out and apologize.
Yeah.
And say those things, and now to come back to a dressing room where Eric Dyer, you know, after the game, he's a loose mouth. He came out, was like, yeah, no, one player doesn't make the team. Yeah. To come back to that changing room, I mean, it must be a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have faith, bro. Like our attacking, like Son, like we forget about Son.
Dude,
Son has
Son
been
is-
carrying
Son is
Tottenham
great,
right now.
bro. That's a great player.
Yeah, Son has been carrying Tottenham right now, and you've got Harry Kane, and you've got the new signings that are coming up. Oliver Skip is
Emerson Royale.
Emerson Royale.
But look, can I say, do you not think maybe it's a bit too early to judge Emerson? We know everybody has to adapt to the Prem. No, we know this.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he hasn't been the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's a player there, bruh. Like he's got the potential. Spurs didn't sign him for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they signed him as so much for instant impact. You would like instant impact, but that's a guy that you can.
Look, he hasn't proved anything, but he's better than Serge Aurier.
That's what I'm saying. like what? Aurier is still a free agent, eh?
No. He signed with Villarreal.
How did he sign?
Yeah. He
But I
signed
was
with
talking of
Villarreal.
Arsenal signing him.
Yeah. He put out a statement. He was like,
You know how my heart was.
I was
racing,
never
bro.
gonna sign for
But I really
the
wanted
op
him before Spurs got him. I can't lie. I
Really?
liked him before Spurs got him.
at PSG.
I liked him, bruh. I mean, even that other dude at PSG, what's his name? I want to say Kazawa or something, the right back there at PSG. I was interested in getting him at a cut price as well. And like, since we didn't get him, what he's gone on to do, it's kind of like, okay.
Good business.
Not so much of a bust there. Like, and look, now we got Tommy Asu. I love Tommy Asu.
Yeah, we wanted Tommy Asu.
Yes, it was the switcheroo with Arsenal and Spurs. Because Tommy Asu, I think, came out and he was like, he'd love to go play for Spurs. And then Spurs didn't make the bid. Arsenal were looking at Emerson. And then literally just...
Switch, yeah.
Switcheroo,
Look,
bruh.
Emerson is going to have his time. He's
Yeah.
going to have his time. I think his opportunity is going to come. I think he's fighting for the position with Doherty. I think it's like a competition there. And the way I see it, I think Nuno wants to use Doherty in the tournaments and cement Emerson Royale's position in the Prem. But he needs to come to the party. He needs to come to the party and he needs to have a relationship. I don't know who he plays in front of, whether it's Son or Mora or sorry, or Lo Celso.
Yeah.
They need to have a relationship over there. You know what I mean? When one comes forward, the other needs to come back because it's the tracking back that leaves us exposed
basically-
on the side. Yeah.
Oh,
A bit of time, who knows?
Yeah, man. I suppose. Look, I'm someone I never like to write a player off. Like, regardless of what team they play for, I'm like, that's a human. Like, that's a person. I just cannot just be like, nah, that player's done. You know what I mean?
I always look at your tweets and your Facebook posts when they're for Arsenal like perform bad, and it's just optimism. I'm like, my guy, your wherewithal is
Hopeful,
like
man.
super
Man
low,
is
bro.
hopeful.
Look,
Like,
the
no,
toxicity
that's-
will kill you, man. You know what I mean?
I've never seen an angry face emoji or fuck.
Always taking the
Nothing.
positives
It's
out
just,
of
at the
everything.
end of the day, guys, listen, it was not bad. Like 85 minutes of just like smashing. Like I need to adopt that
I'm the
mentality
Brian.
because
It's
I'd be
fun games.
pissed, bro. Like when Tottenham lose, like the mood drops in the house, bro. Like I'm grumpy the whole day, bro. Like whole weekend.
Look, I feel you. I do get like that. I swear to you, I do. But I think it's quick for me. I'm very quick with kind of getting over it because like I tell myself straight up, I'm like, I just fucking refuse. I refuse to let this club just ruin my weekend. You know what I mean? Because like there's nothing worse than when you lose the fucking opening. Can I say that Brentford game? The first, you wait how long for a new season? No? Okay, it wasn't that long now because of the COVID fucking schedule. But you wait for a new season. And then they're like, yo, you guys are opening the season. It's like, oh, alright, cool. And it's like, your first opponent is the newly promoted Brentford. So it's like,
Nah, easy
and
peasy.
then the game comes.
Yeah.
First game of a new season, and you have to, after that loss, just watch every other fan just love it. Just love it, bruh. Like, you know how hard it was for me to, like, back, I swear I was the first, but I had to be like, nah, guys, Brentford's just good. That's all. Brentford's just good, bruh. Never mind. Oh, we didn't have our full starting 11. I was quick on it, bruh. I was quick. From the minute we conceded that first goal, I was like, okay, so he's not there. That's reason enough.
Right. Looking for the excuse already. I feel you.
Oh, man.
I feel you.
I can tell you one time I had fuck all nice to say, and that was that Europa League final against fucking Chelsea a couple years back. Oh boy.
And you guys lost that to Chelsea. Oh, it's such an opportunity.
That night I was far from optimistic.
You guys lost at 1-0, right?
3-1,
3-1.
dog.
Oh, shit.
You may have stopped watching at 1-0 because that was worth the time to stop. I wish I stopped at 1-0. Fuck,
I will never watch an Arsenal Chelsea game. Like that's how much of a Tottenham fan I am. Like
nah, that's
fuck
real
y'all,
shit.
niggas.
That's real shit. That's real shit, bruh. I still look. I watch Spurs because, like, I was telling Erlen on a couple episodes ago. Like Spurs, there've been players at Spurs that I've liked. Like especially during the Christian Eriksen era. Like Eriksen was my fucking. Oh, bruh. If you came to me and you were like one player in the Premier League that you could take at Arsenal, would it be? I'd probably say Eriksen at that time.
Right.
Like Eriksen was beastly for me. So I've watched Spurs play, but as Spurs have started getting better, I've started to hate watching them more.
Right.
Now I'm just
It's
like, well, before I could watch it unthreatened.
Yeah.
But now it's like, meanwhile, on our side of fucking London.
It's lit.
Going into the international break now.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's got a call up. Harry Kane always shows up for England.
Right.
I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
Scott, this is a like with these performances in the league now, we know he got some goals in the Conference League, but league form hasn't been there.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that a weekend away with the England squad is kind of just what the doctor ordered right now?
I think not, because he's going to go play for England and he's going to get everything that Harry Kane, a striker, wants. You know, they interviewed him before the end of last season. It's like, who's a one player you'd like to play with? And he said Kevin De Bruyne. And there's a reason why he said Kevin De Bruyne, because Kevin De Bruyne lobs them in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's just immaculate with the way that he lobs, and that's what Harry Kane needs. Last season, Son kind of did that, but I don't know what it is. They kind of had that thing going, like telekinesis, whatever. But like this season, they still have to come together, you know, and forge that. But it only happens when Harry Kane goes deep and then he lobs a ball to Son, and then he has to run in, and then...
But he doesn't have that guy.
He doesn't have that guy. He doesn't have that guy, that magician, you know, and that's why he doesn't perform the way that he does at England, because at England he's got Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
You know, at England he's got all of these other guys.
Yeah,
you know,
there's
the
Sterling
Masons,
there,
the
there's Saka there,
Sterlings, the
there's-
Sakas, all of these magicians, you know, and he performs well in that setting.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Tottenham. You know, the problem with Tottenham is the midfield. There is no magician. The guy that lobs them in, the guy that creates, that finds the spaces, you know.
I really thought that Lucas Moura would be that guy.
He could, but he's not like...
He's more of a goal threat than he is
he's a hard worker.
Yeah,
He's not like, he doesn't have class, but he'll work his ass off, you know.
another player. Yeah,
And I admire him. And I'm still mad at Pochettino for subbing him, or rather thinking him on the bench in the final after he got us there. Remember that semi?
I was also surprised.
Remember that semi?
I was also like,
I've got a scar here somewhere, because
From
I was,
celebrating.
dude, I was in bed watching that with my girl and shit. We were losing, and she was like in my ear, like, you know, it's gonna be okay. But she's doing that shit on purpose, man. You know, she's trying to get on my ass because she knows she's trying to clown me. Yo, and the first goal went in. And then Lucas Moura's goal came. It was like 11 p.m., bro.
Yeah.
I was screaming. I jumped out. I dove on the flipping floor, bro. And I broke a bottle of Jameson. Like,
Oh, fuck.
I got a scar, so...
Because
and
that
it
was your moment, bro.
That was, dude, like that game, that's like probably the best moment in football, or one of in history, like of all time. Like the way that we came back to go into the final and they subbed him. And he spoke about it recently, saying that he didn't understand. He just came into the team announcement.
really.
There was no explanation. I guess like Pochettino, who's never been in that situation, didn't take advantage of that. Because if you put a hard worker like Moura in the final against
That's the
Liverpool,
business. He's gonna wanna show
gonna
up.
go crazy.
He's
Because
gonna wanna show
he
and prove.
carried the team there, so that's his responsibility, you know. But
He does strike me as the type of guy who would wear that on his back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd take on that responsibility for himself.
No, he's a character for Spurs. And when the internet blackout happened a couple of days ago, he was like, that was the first time he had a conversation with his wife. You know what I mean? He finally got some time to get to know his wife. So he's a character. He's a hard worker, but he doesn't have like, he doesn't have that
He doesn't have that De Bruyne
sauce,
magic.
like that sauce that Kevin De Bruyne has. Like
yeah.
Kevin will touch the ball once and like he'll give it that sauce and it'll
just
find.
does some
He
other
just
worldly
does
shit
something, you
with
know,
it,
and
bro.
that's what Harry Kane needs. Harry Kane needs that sauce, bro.
No?
For sure, he needs that because he's that kind of player. He's very intelligent. He plays the defensive line very well. I don't think there are a lot of strikers who know how to beat the offside trap better than Harry Kane does. But that's irrelevant if there are no balls coming in.
Exactly.
It's irrelevant.
Look, I think that Aubameyang's having the same issue at Arsenal. Aubameyang's ideal,
Exactly.
like,
He's
situation
lethal.
would be
Aubameyang is lethal.
beat the offside line
Right.
and have someone send the ball over. Because
Right.
in his mind, I'm sure he's like, I can beat any defender to that ball.
Right.
But we don't have.
Aubameyang has probably the best first touch, like striker. Like his
look,
first
he's-
touches are
he's-
immaculate.
He's been last season wasn't great, but that's another player where it's like I definitely won't write him off because you don't count Aubameyang.
Do you think he wanted to leave?
It's a tricky situation. I think I would have understood if he wanted to leave, but I don't really think he wanted to as well because. Look, I think he's happy in Arsenal. I think he's happy in the city.
The city.
I think he's happy in the city.
Yeah.
I think it suits him. I think it suits his lifestyle. And when it came between him having opportunity to move elsewhere and Arsenal came knocking with that mega contract, I think that any wanting to leave the club just disappeared.
He did it for the lifestyle.
Because I think, look, it was a win-win-win-win. Because you can trust that he loves the club. I genuinely believe he loves the club. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Even now at the North London derby, like I think it matters to him when he has these big moments with the club, and
For sure.
I think it matters to him when his form is dipping because he doesn't want to disappoint the fans. He's a showman. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I don't know Aubameyang to be a guy that's just okay with having an average season. This man is literally like a 20+ goal scorer guaranteed for the last like 4 or 5 seasons in his football career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's his standard.
Yeah.
Like if you go from that type of standard and then you have a drop like you did last season, he doesn't need to hear you fans busy saying, "Oh, you've had such a terrible season." He's fucking telling himself
Sleepless
that.
nights, yeah.
He's telling him, he knows it more than anyone else, bruh.
Right.
Like, so I think that he may have wanted to leave more because the club was in a very dark fucking place. He was in a dark place career-wise, you know what I mean? Like, like fuck, you know, I think that FA Cup helped a shit ton. If we didn't get that FA Cup, I think he would have been out the door. No matter how much
I
money.
think he wanted to cry when he quit, when he finally scored a goal against Spurs. Yeah, I kind of saw like dude was like
You saw how much, like, I mean,
emotional.
it meant a shit lot to him, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's why I say I think Arteta tried to take advantage of that with the locker room
Yeah,
photo.
yeah.
And just,
Nah,
just
there's
kind
no
of remind
justifying.
everyone.
You keep
like,
bringing it back. There's no
I'm just saying,
justifying.
I'm just saying,
Like you keep
bruh.
just like yeah.
Like you
Remember the
wanna
photo?
bring in the nostalgia of remember guys when we won the FA Cup.
Remember the photo?
This is just like that. Like, bruh. So I would understand if you wanted to leave.
Yeah.
But the Arsenal fan in me and the Aubameyang fan in me, I think he wanted to stay. I think he wanted to stay if the situation was ideal for everyone, and that's what happened. And that's what happened, and I'm sticking to it. I hope that we can make him happier at the club because a happy Aubameyang scores goals. Bro.
I remember a time when Arsenal's football was. Remember that tiki-taka with
Bro,
with
you're talking Wenger ball now, bro. With Cazorla
bro.
there.
with Cazorla. And
Cazorla,
who's this guy?
Ozil,
Who's this guy? What's
Sanchez.
his name? He played for the short pin. He played for Aston Villa, I think. What's his name? He's British, man. The short dude.
Jack
Wilshere, Jack Wilshere.
went to
Jack
West Ham.
Wilshere.
Yeah,
Went to West Ham,
yeah. Went to West Ham. Sorry,
Gosh,
yeah.
what a player.
Dude, there's that goal, probably one of the best Arsenal goals. It was just like
The one
one
that Giroud
touch,
finished
ba,
off.
ba, ba, and then Giroud finished off. Oh my god.
Giroud scored some ridiculous goals at Arsenal.
Dude.
And you know, I saw the funniest fucking tweet. No. And like, I thought it was so funny, but it's also cucked through. Someone said, you could show someone a list of Oliver Giroud's medals. Olivier. You could show, like, if you're talking to someone who doesn't really follow much football, you could show this person a list of Giroud's accolades, no? And a top 10 greatest goals. And you could easily convince that man that Giroud is one of the greatest footballers ever.
Of all time.
Because medals-wise, this man has
He's
the
got
Champions
everything.
League, Premier League, Europa League. I think you got an FA Cup now.
FIFA, World Cup.
He's literally got like those medals and his top 10 goals. This man has the scorpion kick. He has that Arsenal goal.
And my guy plays like an average of 15 minutes a game.
bruv,
That's
you
crazy.
could literally show that to someone, and that person could walk away going,
Yeah.
Olivier Giroud is one of the greatest football players. And
Yeah.
like, I couldn't blame him if that's what you saw of him, bruh.
Well, not one of the
look,
greatest, but like it takes a lot of
He
sorry, bro.
scored like 105 goals in 250.
No, I think he's a good player,
That's
but at the
crazy.
same
That's
time,
good.
let's not kid ourselves. He's no Aguero. He's no Salah. He's no Henry. He's no Aubameyang. He's not the greatest striker. But if you compact everything, if you make a little mixtape, the Olivier Giroud mixtape, you could convince someone that this dude
Yeah, his
was
goals
just
are immaculate,
the king of
bro.
strikers,
Yeah,
like
he's
Ibrahimovic level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's immaculate, bro. And to think the mentality that you have to have, you sitting there, because they always pan the camera on him and he's just like chilling there.
Yep.
With his hair slicked back. It's like, yeah. He's got this eyebrow thing going on. He chills there like 70 minutes, almost every game. And then he just gets up and he goes on the field and he does
That's what he
something.
needs to do.
Almost every
He
single
does what
time.
he needs to
Mentality,
do.
he's got a very strong mentality.
Yeah,
It's very
bro.
strong mentality for sure.
Now, we had some great footballers. Bro.
Yeah.
We really did.
It's really a new era for Arsenal.
100%.
It's really a new era for Arsenal.
It is, but look, same for Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, look, obviously, it's the Pochettino era. I think it was too short-lived.
I think so too.
I think it was too short-lived. But
Nah, they did him dirty, bro.
Nah.
They did him dirty. Like, this guy, before he left, he said it. Like, we need to rebuild.
Yeah.
Like, right now is the time that we invest and rebuild. And they
I think
didn't
it
want
was
to
a
give
weird
it to
time to
him.
pump money into a new stadium. I feel like that could have waited a little bit.
Yeah, but look at what it's doing now. It's winning architectural awards, like it's hosting
Exactly.
NFL.
Like, so it's good for Levy.
That's why I'm saying you love to hate the guy, but he'll always make money. Like, that's the thing. I think we're like the top 10 richest club in the world. You know, I think it's number 9 or number 8. Like, that's crazy. Tottenham have like the trophy cabinet versus the bank balance tells you everything you need to know about what's going on
where
over
the
there.
priorities are.
But I think that I think that this season they've done a lot of things right behind the scenes. I mean, Fabio's appointment, working with Hitchen, our recruiter, the fact that they have fan representation in the board now,
Which is amazing.
which is incredible,
Amazing.
Incredible. Move.
Every club should follow suit.
Yeah,
Like,
incredible stuff that's going on over there. So look, man, who the hell knows what's gonna happen this season? Hey, like. But every game is exciting. Every game is a cup final for us. Like, we're looking for wins. And Nuno's time, like, we need to give him a little bit more time.
Of course.
We definitely need to give him a chance.
You know what he's capable of, at least, because you've seen what he's done at Wolves.
Look at what he's doing to Dele Alli, right? And it says a lot about Nuno. Dele Alli gets subbed off at halftime against Arsenal. Next week in the Conference League, they put him right back in.
Yeah.
This game that we against Aston Villa, they put him right back in. He's back. He's
and
back
he needs
there,
that.
and
he needs a run of games. He's not gonna get to that same level he was at before under Pochettino, which made everybody fucking excited. I used to hate coming up against Dele Alli,
right?
Because I just knew Alli and Kane in a derby. Alli and Kane are gonna make cuck.
Nah, look, he's gonna come back, man, after he's done smashing Miss Guardiola. He's thumping on Pep's daughter, bro.
My god!
That's
this
top
was
tier
just like Ali thumping. I was like thumping. God damn!
Did you see that kiss?
Yo, bro.
That's tongue and throat. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
in
That's
public,
not any,
in broad day.
That's DPDA.
Shit, dog. Nah, yeah. Look, and look. I was speaking to the homie Anzio last week about morale. I'm pretty sure that man's morale's gonna be going
on
up.
the up. You know what I mean?
So you might very well see a bit more of the best of Ali. You know what I mean?
He did say it, like after Aston Villa, or was it the Conference League? I can't remember. But he did say that after after he got subbed off at halftime, I think he said like it was super embarrassing.
So he's starting
in
to
the
expect
North London derby to be subbed at halftime. It was like a slap in the face.
Yeah, I suppose.
And he had sleepless nights. And coming back to do what he did in the Conference League was sort of like a show of him. Like, but he needs to be consistent. One moment is not enough. And the conversation that he had with Jose Mourinho, when Mourinho told him that you are your own self-destruction, like. You are responsible for where you go if you want to be fast.
Mourinho was blunt.
Yeah, that interview, I'm quite sure it plays back in his head every time he performs bad, because Mourinho told him that you have potential, but you're lazy. You know,
and before that, Doc, he kind of say from the outside looking in, it just looked like Mourinho was just hating on him. Out of context, it just looked like Mourinho was just being a bully. Like,
yeah, it did. Yeah, but I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
proof is in the.
I think with the run of games, you'll get there, bro. And Nuno as well. I like Nuno. As an Arsenal fan, I hope he doesn't do as well as I think he can do with Spurs. But I think he's going to come right, bro. I think it's literally only a matter of time. Everyone, it's easy to take for granted because it's a big club, so you have expectations.
Yes.
You have expectations. It's difficult to bring in a new manager and be patient in this day and age. It's very difficult. But I think that he is going to turn things around. And do you think, like Newcastle next, no? After the international break, it's Newcastle.
Right.
Away. So it's at St. Mary's Stadium.
St. Mary's, yeah.
Are you confident going into that game?
St. James, guys. St. James.
Come on,
boys.
Park, yeah.
Jeez. Thank goodness we've got a Liverpool fan here.
The three Jordan clear.
Yeah, it's the pandemic, guys. It's the pandemic.
But yeah, carry on.
Dude, like, how did they do what was the results of the last Prem games? Newcastle, did they get a win? How's Spurs doing away from home, by the way?
Not too good.
Nah?
Not too good. I wouldn't expect that they're doing too good.
I don't think a lot of clubs
even last season, their away record wasn't that great.
Yeah, and, Newcastle's last result was a 2-1 loss to Wolves.
Oh, God. Oh, come on. Nuno's old team did it, and now it's Nuno next.
Every single team that plays against Tottenham, they come on the field and they're like, we are going to run you over. Like, they literally play for their lives. That's why I'm saying every game is a cup final, because all of the craziest moments that can possibly happen in football, they happen against Tottenham.
Away. And look, it's football. You literally cannot you can't say.
Yeah.
It's
that's
way
true.
too early
That's
to
true.
say.
That's
Because sometimes you might end up with your foot in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Just a young plug there. I'm pulling Arteta.
Okay.
That was me pulling off an Arteta,
Okay,
you know?
That actually landed.
I think again, on paper, it's you always wish games could be played out on paper. On paper,
Yeah.
Spurs should win.
Yeah, we
On
should.
paper, Spurs should win. I think it's gonna be good for Kane to get away. I can't lie. I think that Kane, like I said, based off of what I saw in that derby, I think Kane just needs just a little break. Just get in the right headspace. Get back to look. He was on a serious high during the Euros. Kane
Yeah.
looked so fucking happy.
Yeah.
He looked so happy.
Yeah.
So I think getting back in that environment, let him come through to St. James Park, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him. Honestly,
Yeah, but like
put some away.
we're also facing a situation right now because Christian Romero, they've gone to he's been called up for Argentina with Davison Sanchez has been called up, Lo Celso's been called up, and I don't know who else has been called up. And the thing with South America is that there's like this whole quarantine thing. Right, so
Yeah.
it's possible that when they come back into
They're
the
gonna
UK,
have to
they're
go
gonna
into
have
isolation.
to isolation, and that means that they miss out. And Christian Romero is our guy right
That's
now.
gonna be a big miss.
It's gonna be a big miss. That leaves us with Rodon and
Yeah, ended there. Let's just hope that Rodon
Yeah.
is fit and ready.
I mean, yeah.
Because even that, you can't have panic attacks when it goes into fucking training now.
Oh my god.
Because now game day comes and it's like, oh, so-and-so picked up an injury in training. You're like, who the fuck injured him? Why? Like, oh.
Dude, yeah, they take that shit a little bit too serious.
Bro.
Yeah.
But I think after this break, it's gonna be a run of good games now.
Who are you guys facing?
We're playing Palace, bro, Crystal Palace, which I think is interesting because obviously now it's Vieira versus Arteta.
I didn't even know. I only found out that Vieira was head coach of Crystal Palace when they played against us.
Oh,
They
against
creamed us
Spurs, yeah.
3 whatever. I don't know what the score was.
Yeah,
They
that was
creamed us
odds on
bad.
Edward, fucking.
It was a bad game.
But yeah, that's why I say he's obviously an Arsenal legend, much more so
Yes.
than Arteta would be. So I feel like the dynamic at the stadium could be very interesting.
Yeah. Are they going to boo
it's
him?
gonna be
There's
so
no
weird.
way Arsenal fans are going to boo
It's gonna be so
Vieira.
weird,
There's
bro.
no way.
It's gonna be so weird. But I look forward to it as usual, as always. Even
Yeah.
if Arsenal's in a shit spot, I look forward to it. Shot for coming on the show, bruv.
No stress, brother.
I know there were a couple guys who I told beforehand that I'm having a Spurs guy on the show, and they were all like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yes, yes, I'm very sure because this is what the fucking show is about."
Who supports Tottenham? Calley does.
Calley supports Tottenham, bruh. Calley supports Tottenham. Nah, this was a dope talk, man. This was a dope talk. I appreciate the fact that there wasn't too much banter.
Yeah,
but
no.
at the same time, I feel like both of our clubs are in places where we cannot be talking. We're in no position to talk just yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
we all
come
can't.
towards the end of the season, if I have you back on the show, we'll probably have a lot more to say.
Yeah.
We'll have a
I'm
lot
just glad
more
the
to say.
furniture's intact, the cups are still cups not broken, everything is good, no sweat, yeah. And it was very insightful stuff, man. Like to congratulate you for this podcast,
Thank you,
man. Like it's a
dog.
dope setup.
Thank you so much,
Super
bro.
proud of you, super professional, and
Shut, man.
big things are coming for this for sure.
This is why I was actually keen to have him on the show. Not for his Tottenham. Nah, it's not that.
That is my ticket back to foot and mouth, baby. Secured.
Yeah, shot Calley for coming on the show.
No stress.
Sponsi on sound. Thank you so much.
Shout out, Calley.
brother.
Thank
Shout out,
you for
brother.
watching at home. Please do subscribe, like, share the shit. We upload videos every single week. We'll catch you after We'll catch you after the international break.